Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the JT&P UnCut YouTube channel and also show. We have our special guest, the GOATs, in the building, ready to debate about a lot of dope topics, man. Hope you guys enjoy the show and hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is your boy, Tone, the host of the show. And we got Tim from the Tim Sports Talk. And we got Jeris Christian in the building, man. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to waste no time. We're going to start with some NBA stuff. Donovan Mitchell got traded today. Spicy.
Pretty big.
And he got traded not to the Knicks. Like everybody thought the Knicks, man, he's going to be in New York. New York. Instead, he's been traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers to join Evan Mobley and the crew over there with the other guys over there, Evan Mobley, those guys, and Darius Garland and guys of that nature. So, what are your thoughts on the trade, and where do you rank the Cavs in the Eastern Conference? We will start with Tim.
I don't think I like the trade, okay? Because I just don't see this roster as a whole like really contending. Yeah, sure, they can get the 6th spot in the East, maybe, but to me, Mitchell is not the superstar that you go make a huge trade for and then makes the difference on your team. You're losing 3 first-round picks and a couple of players as well. Now, the players didn't seem too dramatic, if I remember off the top of my head, but I believe it was they did lose Ochai Agbaji, the rookie. He would be interesting from Kansas. And then they also lost the big dude. I already forgot his last name. It was some weird last name. Oh, Markkanen.
Lauri Markkanen.
Markkanen.
Yeah. So, to me, this doesn't move the needle at all for me in the East. I don't think that Donovan Mitchell is the superstar that you want to go for to make you a championship contender. I think this is a middle-of-the-road playoff team somewhere in there and probably a first-round exit, in my opinion.
First-round exit.
I just disagree. That's just a whole take.
Well, Jeris, speak your piece, sir.
Mitchell is the guy that you trade for. Okay. First of all, no one wants to go to the Cavs. Now there's a reason to go there. Him. They're young. They already got Darius Garland. They got Jared Allen over there. They got stuff. The whole point of going to get Donovan Mitchell is to lure free agents. Kevin Durant might not want to stay with the Nets. Cleveland actually looks more intriguing now.
So you think they're going to go sign Kevin Durant?
LeBron only signed for 2 years. He may go back to Cleveland.
No,
Makes sense.
LeBron, way too old. Who cares?
I mean, I'm not a LeBron fan, but you can say he's way too old. He's still balling. So
if you put LeBron on this team, it's not like they're going anywhere either. They may be a 4 seed.
No, they'd be top 2 seed.
No.
You lost your mind completely. You've lost your mind if you don't think that. I'm not even LeBron. You put LeBron with freaking Darius Garland and freaking Donovan Mitchell and Jared Allen for defense. You're crazy. And I think they have – who else they have? Because I know
Evan Mobley, too.
That's exactly the guy that was on my head. Evan Mobley, you lost it. You lost it.
I don't view this team better.
Nice team. Jared Allen, it's a nice team over there with Cleveland.
Nasty team. And all of them can shoot, which is what LeBron would want. You tripping.
And they got rid of a depreciating asset in Colin Sexton. Actually, I don't mind the trade at all.
They still got Kevin Love, too.
I forgot
Still got Kevin Love. They got Chris LeVert. Ricky Rubio coming off the bench.
All right, well, if they add more pieces anyway, then that's completely
moot. The point is,
as it sits right now, they're at best a 5th seed.
Okay, well, that's not what you're doing. You're doing this for the future. You now have a core. You have your core pieces already set in place. Now you just need one more big time free agent to put you over the top. That's it.
So they're not playing for this year. They're playing for the future.
They're playing for the future.
I think I could buy that argument.
What you do is you put yourself in position. What was their record last year?
They were like 44-38.
44. That's not bad. You had Donovan Mitchell. Those losses go down, the wins go higher. You put yourself in playoff contention. You make yourself look presentable to a big time free agent to come there and play. You win a playoff series.
This team is better than like the Bucks, the Celtics, the Heat.
I think they're the
Cincinnati.
fifth best team. I think they're behind Miami, Boston,
I mean, no, because
Sixers.
Brooklyn, Philadelphia.
they don't have this. They don't have the stars the other two have
Right.
now because they need one more.
If they could get Kevin Durant, now that actually moves the needle. Did Kevin Durant already agree to stay, or is he still technically like he could?
He's still in
He
that.
agreed to stay, but
But no, wait, he would have to be traded for anyway. Now they don't have any assets. They just traded away 3 first-round picks. So they're not getting Kevin Durant. That's not happening.
they have
Like-
assets to trade away.
Who? For Kevin Durant?
Yeah,
You
gotta
can
give
trade
Adam
everyone
Mobley.
not named Donovan Mitchell, and you're still not getting Kevin Durant.
that's a lie.
Like, Nets aren't trading all that for Kevin Durant.
Okay.
If they're trading Kevin Durant, they're getting 7 first-round picks or something crazy. Like, I mean, how many picks did the Rockets get from the Sixers to go get Harden? Wasn't it something stupid?
No, that was when Harden got traded to the Nets.
Or the Nets, sorry, you're right. Yeah, not the Sixers.
It was
the
4
Nets.
first rounders and 4 pick swaps.
Something like that, right?
It was 4 first round, 4 pick swaps.
So
I
for
remember.
Kevin Durant, you're getting way more than that.
You'll probably get like 6 and 6 pick swaps, yeah, something like that.
So yeah, I don't.
It's something
not buying
insane.
this.
It's some crazy number like that. It's like probably like 6 first rounders and like 3 or 4 pick swaps or some crazy, just
Right.
insane number that I don't even want to think about.
Obviously, Kevin
That's
Durant
insane.
moves the needle for whoever he goes to. Kevin Durant is that kind of a dude.
It's KD, man.
I just don't view
KD.
Donovan Mitchell that way.
Okay, next year Russell Westbrook's a free agent. Chris
Trash.
Middleton, James Harden,
He's a trash.
Chris Middleton, James Harden, Kyrie, Porzingis. I can't
I
stand.
could have sworn Harden signed an extension.
No,
Harden signed an extension.
None of
with
those guys
Philadelphia.
are really moving the needle for me here to go win a championship.
if they get
Harden
James
signed an
Harden with
extension.
Donovan Mitchell, you've lost it.
I don't know.
And Darius Garland, you crazy.
I love Darius Garland, by the way.
You get him with them 3, you crazy. You're not stopping them offensively. They might be challenged defensively, but you're not stopping them offensively at all. Not even close.
Who do the Sixers have right now? Who did they also get from the Nets? Didn't they get another player from the Nets when they made that Harden trade? But I don't know. Whatever. I just don't view this as the big deal. As a big.
And then in 2024, LeBron's a free agent.
Crazy.
Like I said, so this is for the future. 2024, LeBron, Paul George, Kawhi, Clay. This is a future move. All those guys would be looking at Cleveland, especially LeBron.
No, only LeBron.
I think it's still
only
now,
LeBron.
too.
Nobody else
Paul
is going to
George will
Cleveland.
definitely look there. You
Nobody
don't
is going
think
to
Kawhi
Cleveland.
Leonard and Paul George say, bump it, let's go team up over there?
Absolutely
You're crazy.
not.
You're
Absolutely
crazy.
not.
This is
You're
hilarious.
crazy.
Absolutely not. They're not making any moves like
You
that.
lost it.
They're staying in California, or they're going to Florida, or they're going somewhere else. They ain't going to no Cleveland.
Okay.
He's like, no, Cleveland.
Okay. You keep on believing
Or why
it.
not go up to who are you going to? The Cavaliers, or are you going to the Bucks? Because both of them are in the Midwest, so both
First
suck.
off, Bucks don't
So why
have the money. That's number one. No, the cap.
Why don't
space.
they have the money?
that. They don't have the money nor the cap space.
I don't know. I don't know what
They have money nor the cap
situation
space.
is.
Why would they want to
Why
go
aren't
play
you
with
making it
Giannis?
work with Giannis over Donovan Mitchell?
Why would they want to go play with Giannis? What?
One of the best players in the NBA, if not the best player.
It's
right now?
not a good match. They play the same position.
Who?
The players I just mentioned.
Who plays power forward in that? Kawhi don't play no power forward.
He's a small
Paul
forward.
Oh, whatever. Small forward power. He's gained weight.
Kawhi not gonna want to play with no freaking Porzingis. I mean, Giannis.
Who's that?
They want to
Kawhi?
play
Why not?
against them. It's competition. They don't want to join him.
Yeah, Kawhi don't want to play with them. I can tell you that. I can agree with that too. Kawhi don't want because he would have played with LeBron. Then he was would play with LeBron. That is facts. I ain't going.
So why do you think he wants to play with Donovan Mitchell?
Ooh, good question.
He went to go play with Kyle Lowry.
He got traded to the Raptors.
He wanted to go.
He got traded to the Raptors for
He
DeMar
wanted
DeRozan.
to go. Who would you rather play
he
with?
wanted to
Kyle
get away
Lowry
from
or Donovan Mitchell?
Pop,
I will
But
wait.
they had to trade.
He won
had
a
to be traded.
championship in Toronto with Kyle Lowry. Donovan Mitchell is way better than Kyle Lowry. Wherever it be.
Yeah, but that was a trade. It was not a free agent acquisition.
That's even better. Meaning
He's
you don't
going
have to
play
give
with
up assets
Giannis
to go get them.
over-
I can just go sign on.
Pull anybody in the NBA. Would you rather play with, Donovan Mitchell or Giannis? It's not even a question.
Me, preferably, I would want Donovan Mitchell.
Unless you're playing with unless you're talking to a center, or like a big man or whatever. Like maybe that you don't want to go play with Giannis. You'd rather go play with a guard.
I'd rather play with Embiid.
But I'd rather play with Embiid. This says the Sixers fan. But anyway, we talked NBA long enough.
All right. That was a fun.
Cleveland maybe wins 47 games.
We need to get him immediately.
Without Donovan Mitchell.
We need to get switch topics. The topic we going to now is the one Red Wing just put in the comments. We need to go get him.
We'll get to his comment in a little bit, actually, but we gotta get to the comments. We gotta get to the topics that are at hand here.
Mm-hmm.
So Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Got paid. And my young Dolph face, get paid, young. I can't say that word, but get paid. RP Young Dolph. But yeah. Shout out to Young Dolph for that. But he got paid a ton of money, a ton of freaking money. And was it a good move for the Broncos? Did they overpay? It's $49 million per season. 5 for $245, $165 guaranteed, a little bit more guaranteed money for Kyler Murray, and it makes him the second highest or third highest paid quarterback in football when his extension hits. So, good move or bad move? We'll start with Jeris.
Overpaid. I've never been this big Russell Wilson guy. I've always said that he was a product of the Legion and Boom in that run game. He hasn't done crap ever since they left. So I would have gave on, what did he get, 6 or 5 years? It was 6 years?
It was 5 years, $245.
5 years, 150, fully guaranteed. You can have that.
Only 30 per?
I'll give you that.
I think Kyler got 40.
Because he's not a guy. He lost you the Super Bowl one of them. He didn't win you the other one. That was Marshawn Lynch, a Legion of Boom. And ever since then, he hasn't been back. So me looking at you, I'm like, look, you wasn't the culprit of what that was. Legion of Boom was the culprit, and Marshawn Lynch was the freaking entire offense. So you get 5, 150. Take that. So to me, he's overpaid. Which is what they're going to do. They're going to do similar what they did with the Legion, because the Broncos have a good defense and they have 2 good running backs. That's how they're going to win.
Okay, Tim.
It's interesting that you were willing to pay Lamar $50 million, but then Russell Wilson is only a $30 million quarterback. When how much has Lamar done in the playoffs for you over there? But anyway, basically the clock starts now for Denver. They have 3 years. 3 years to make something out of this, because as soon as he gets paid $50 million actually per season, like $54 million cap hits, they're in the toilet. Okay, they're not winning anything after that. But for now, he's only a $17 million cap hit this year. He is a $22 million cap hit next year, and a $35 million cap hit in 2024. We're assuming the cap goes up, where that is somewhat of a reasonable number. It should be pretty reasonable, actually. So they have a 3-year window to try to go all out and win. I think the contract is actually not that bad, considering how they have it set up. Now, eventually, as I said, it's going to be hit way too high, and they're not going to do anything after year 3. But they give themselves a solid 3-year window to win it all. They have a great roster around him. He's got weapons: Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy. How do you say that tight end's name? Big O.
Albert O.
Albert O. They have him, of course, as Jeris mentioned. They have, of course, Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams tandem. So they have a ton of weapons over there. They've got a solid defense. They've added pieces. Overall, this team has a legitimate chance. They have to get through the murderous road called the AFC West right now. But if they could get there relatively unscathed, they have a chance for the next 2, maybe 3 seasons to win it all. So overall, because of how it's structured, I would say this is a really good move in this. And just act like Russell Wilson hasn't done anything. He's been putting up huge numbers over there in Seattle with the worst offensive line arguably ever. He was the most sacked. He was on pace to be sacked more than Brett Favre with like 5 less years or something like that. They gave him no time, and yet he found ways to put up numbers, and that offense was actually doing well in Seattle up until last year where he hurt his finger and they had zero defense.
Where did he go?
He's been to the playoffs several years.
What happened?
Wasn't last year the first year they missed the playoffs
What
for a
happened?
long time? I don't understand your question. What's
He
the
got to
point?
the Super Bowl, right?
Okay.
He didn't get them there, right? Okay. That's it. I don't care about your numbers.
How much you paying Lamar Jackson?
I don't care about your numbers. He didn't get them there. He didn't
How
win the
many?
Super
How
Bowl.
many? How much you paying Lamar Jackson?
For
Again?
me, I don't see Russell Wilson as a Patrick Mahomes or the Tom Brady, or I don't see him as that. He's a guy. You the team around him. You can win the Super Bowl with him.
He's way more than just a guy.
Well, if he's way more than just a guy, why didn't he take them back to the Super Bowl?
I mean, they did go to the Super Bowl again, but they obviously lost in the Super Bowl.
With what? He didn't take them. It wasn't on his merits. It was on Marshawn Lynch and the
great
defense.
years every year since
It was
he's been
on
in the
Marshawn Lynch and the defense.
Obviously, a team
He
wins
lost
Super
in the
Bowls.
Super Bowl.
Thank you for the revelation that teams win Super Bowls. Thank
He
you.
lost in the Super Bowl.
But to act like he has not put up numbers year in and year out is outrageous.
The point is, he hasn't been back since. That's my point.
Okay, and that's one
I'm not
little
paying him that amount
tiny
of money.
point in this entire.
I'm not paying
I
him
will
that amount of
grant
money.
you that
I'm
point,
sorry.
and I'm still.
I'm not giving it to him. I said 150 guaranteed. Take it or leave it.
I mean, he did get 165 guaranteed, so I mean, he's only.
So okay, 15 million less. Okay,
No,
so,
that's only guaranteed. He's getting his total contract is
It's still
245 million.
45, yeah.
well, you ain't getting 245. That's not total. You just get 150.
Ridiculous.
Interesting. All right, well, that's next topic. We got some trades to talk about. Got some trades. One of them, the major one, is Chauncey Gardner-Johnson has been traded from the Saints to the Eagles, and they didn't give up nothing but some peanuts.
Yeah.
A fifth and a sixth round pick. That's it. Like a fifth round pick in 2023 and a sixth round pick in 2024 for CJ Gardner-Johnson. But they have to pay him. So it says go ahead and put that out there. They have to pay him the bag. They have to give him everything. Here's the bag. So do y'all think this is a huge upgrade for the Eagles at safety? And how much does this put them over the top in the NFC East? I'm gonna start with Tim because Jeris had the last time.
They've added obviously a lot of pieces this offseason. They've been trying to make moves. They're trying to actually make a push this season and give Jalen Hurts the best opportunity. Jalen Hurts is probably going to end up holding this team back. But as far as the trade for Gardner-Johnson, only giving up a fifth and a sixth, and then getting a seventh back, I think that's tremendous. I see zero problem with that move. I remember having the Locked On Saints guy on my channel last year, and all he did was talk up CJ Gardner-Johnson, and I think he ended up getting a pick against us. So I think it's a great move for the Eagles, and they're trying to build as much as they can, and they could definitely be a sleeper because I do like their head coach, whose name all of a sudden is just escaping me. The one from the Colts. Crap, who was the OC?
Jake Reich?
No, he came from the coach last year. Oh my goodness,
That
young coach. He had the horrible press conference.
Nick Sirianni.
Nick Sirianni, thank you. For some reason, I could not think of his name.
Nick Sirianni.
Anyway, I thought that he was a joke of a coach, but what he did last year, he played to his team's strengths and tried to win as many games as possible. I think they ended up making the playoffs, then losing first round. So good for them. Yeah. And they're going to be a dangerous team this year if Jalen Hurts can be any sort of competent QB.
Jeris, your turn.
He's a slack corner. You want to put him at safety, you can be stupid if you want. But he's a slack corner. He's more so of a disruptor in the sense that he can't get underneath your skin. So that's one thing we should look out for. But luckily, we got humble players at receiver, so that shouldn't affect us too much. I don't care. The Eagles don't scare me. I don't care about the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, I don't care about him. Okay, you got all this stuff. Okay. I'm not worried about Philadelphia. Okay. Gardner Johnson, I'll say was a good pickup because now looking at your defense, you do have Bradbury, you do have Slay, you do have Gardner Johnson now. That's a nice trio. But if your quarterback's trash, doesn't matter what you have. That's a bar, by the way. But we might be seeing Carson Strong. We just may
Strong,
see
he got cut. He's not on the team anymore.
He got cut.
Yeah, it's Gardner Minshew back.
Oh, we might be seeing Minshew.
An Ion book.
Now, if Minshew play, we might be in trouble.
Yeah, honestly, Minshew's an interesting guy.
In.
Actually, Minshew with all those receivers, that's actually not even a bad take. That isn't it. And then with Dallas Goedert as well.
Yeah.
That is arguably better than Jalen Hurts.
Well, yeah.
That's arguably better. And then they also added Trey Sermon as running back from the Niners if he can turn into something. He was a disappointment last year. But, wow. I would like that. Give it to Garner. Give it to Minshew madness. I want some Minshew madness.
I think with them having so high expectations, if Jalen doesn't start hot, I think he might get pulled a little.
Because Gardner Minshew's been lighting up the preseason, of course, but he also played well in Jacksonville.
Yeah, Gardner's not a halfback quarterback. I don't mind Gardner Minshew. All right, so recapping the preseason. What was your thoughts on the last preseason week? Very briefly, I will go ahead and recap our locks of the week from that last preseason week. Also, any surprise cuts? And we'll move to the next topic. We'll start with Tim. Can we start with Jeris? We'll start with Jeris. Actually. Any surprise around the league, Jeris?
Surprise cut? There was none.
There's a couple.
Oh, don't get me started with this week. Look.
Man, it's in a second.
You know what? I was mad that Patterson got cut. I was pissed off about that.
Well, no, sorry. Surprise cuts around the league. We'll get to Washington talk later. But anyway, yes.
Oh, well, I don't know around the league because I ain't been paying attention around the league.
I'm surprised Trey Sermon got cut.
Yeah, Trey Sermon was a surprise. There was a few. There was Alex Leatherwood, the first-round pick.
Yeah,
got cut. Oh, crap. I should have wrote it down. Who was there was another guy. All right, that's all I'm going to take off the top.
Well, hey, Blake Martinez. That's a surprise cut for me. Boom.
Yeah, Blake Martinez is a very big surprise.
That's a stupid move by the freaking Giants.
The Giants are broke. They had to do that. They were broke.
They should have drafted freaking what's that boy name? Michael Parsons and then cut him. That would have made more sense. But that was the surprise cut.
Yeah, because they traded up over top of him to get no, they traded back.
They get Kadarius.
They could have just taken
yeah.
And then they traded back
it let the Bears
again,
move
right?
Justin Fields. Yeah, they stayed at 20 and they got Kadarius Toney.
Okay. No, sorry, I'm getting the two.
They moved back in the second round again, but they stayed at 20 to get Kadarius
you're right.
Toney.
They had the 10th pick. They moved back to 20 for the Bears. It was the Eagles that traded over. Sorry, they had the 11th pick. The Giants did. The Eagles traded up to the Cowboys pick at pick 10 to take Devontae Smith. Okay, yeah, I remember the order now. Sorry.
And also another one that Grant and I have brought up in the comments, Kellen Mond, the former third-round pick for the Minnesota Vikings, was also cut.
Yes, that is another good one. That's a surprising cut.
Shout out to Grant Nowser for that one.
Even though I didn't like him coming out. Did he?
He cut a third-round pick after 1 year. That's weird. I'm sorry. That's weird.
True.
But you have Kirk, though. You do have a
It's a whole new regime because they have a new
head coach, new GM,
new head coach and GM. So if they don't like him, then why not let him go? Because I didn't like him either. And if he doesn't show anything in the preseason, then yeah, just get rid of him because I was not impressed with watching his tape that year. So yeah, makes sense honestly because it's a whole new regime and similar to the Alex Leatherwood situation. Even though that's a first-round pick, you're letting go. You think he's that bad as a first-round pick that you're able to just release him?
He looked pretty bad.
He had way too many penalties. That was his problem. But anyway,
he looked bad blocking too. He was ducking the smoke, like he was running away from it. I don't know.
He's ducking the smoke.
He looked too hot. Yeah, so that pretty much recaps the preseason, and also we'll talk about fantasy real quick before we get to our break.
Okay.
Any fantasy sleepers you got going to your fantasy drafts this weekend if you're drafting in fantasy, or guys if you already drafted that you want to tell other people about? We'll start with Jeris.
Let me go ahead and look at my beautiful team that I got on over here.
Jeris' strategy is draft whoever and then just scam all the ding dongs out of their other best player.
Christian Kirk could be a guy to look out for. Christian Kirk. And I would say Brandon Ayuk. Those be two guys to look out for, I believe, this season.
All right. Here's the real take, okay? Here's the real take. If you have a draft this week coming up, here is the strategy. Within the first 4 rounds, you need to take a minimum of 3 running backs in your league. Don't be the donkey taking receivers early. Why? There is so much talent at receiver in the mid rounds. It is insane the value you can get. Michael Thomas is going in the mid-range rounds with Jameis Winston, who had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin in the top 4 receivers in one season. He's going to get a bunch of play. Juju Smith-Schuster is now playing with the best quarterback in the entire league. When he played with Big Ben, old Big Ben, he had 1,400 yards and like 10 touchdowns. You could go get Adam Thielen, who's basically averaging a touchdown a game. As he mentioned, Christian Kirk or Brandon Ayuk. You could also get maybe a couple of the Denver either one, Jerry Jeudy or Cortland Sutton in like round 5. There is so much talent at the receiver position deep in your draft. You have to come out with 3 good running backs, and you can pair them up with some great receivers later. And then you could even go 3 running backs in the first 3 rounds, or the first 3 out of 4 rounds, and get a tight end there, and then just load up on all sorts. Oh, and also you could get D-Hop as well late in the draft. Week 7, you could all of a sudden get a wide receiver 1 out of that after he serves his suspension. So much talent deep at receiver. You don't want to be the donkey drafting a bunch of receivers early. That is my take. Juju does not suck. You're out of your mind, Gregory.
Trash.
He does not suck.
Juju suck. So I got a couple of guys. I don't got a lot of guys, but I got a couple of guys. So actually, my first guy is Logan Thomas, Washington Commanders tight end.
Okay.
He's gonna be healthy for at least week 1, if not early in the season. His ADP is at 200, so that's like the late 10th round, something like that. Late 11th round. Actually, his ADP is 120, so it's like late 10th round. I mean, that's a good. We had tight end 1 in the 10th
in
round.
a 12-man league, it would be late 10th round.
10th round. Get out of here. And then also Marquez Valdez-Scantling. His ADP is 140, so that's the 14th round in 10-man leagues, and the 12th round in 12-man leagues. So fantasy sleepers are guys are late in the draft. If you don't talk about, could he be Patrick Mahomes wide receiver 1 or 2?
Here's another. As far as the sleepers go, you could say Jahan Dotson.
Jahan Dotson. His ADP is a little high though. That's why I didn't bring him up. His ADP
really? What's his ADP at?
It's like in the mid 90s. That's kind of high.
Oh, okay. I thought he was going.
It's kind of high.
Screaming up the boards a little bit. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think he was originally that high.
He's getting a little bit more love and.
Curtis Samuel could be a guy that's deep. What's his
he's in the hundreds. That's a good look. I can agree with that.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel could be one for Washington.
Even though Jahan has a 90 ADP, his average draft position, actual drafted position, will be in the low 100s, so 115. So it's actually a sleeper team. So that's not bad too. MVS cannot catch. I know, Joe, but when he does catch, is a big play. So. He's playing with Patrick Mahomes. Can't go wrong. So.
Yeah, I would rather go Juju, though, over Valdez-Scantling.
So let's get to the break.
Another guy that could actually be interesting, one last guy, and then we can get to the break. Jerick McKinnon could be an interesting pick for the Chiefs. You could literally probably get him the last pick of your draft. And with Clyde the Glide not looking like a first-round pick, that could be a guy that's all of a sudden, very interesting later in the draft.
So we have some questions. Start with Joe. Shout out my bro, Joe. Who is Jeris' top 15 quarterbacks in the National Football League right now?
Since you act like Russell Wilson is such a...
Mahomes, Burrow, Herbert, Sean Watson, Aaron Rodgers.
No particular order.
No, I'm not giving a particular order. Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, um, Matthew Stafford,
Okay.
Matt Ryan,
I guess top 15 he could be there. Not over guys like Russell Wilson, though.
Derek Carr,
Over Russell?
He said no particular order. So
10.
Yeah, but he's refusing to mention Russell for a reason. He's going to kick Russell out of the top
No,
15.
I'm not gonna kick him out of the top 15. Okay, Russell Wilson 11.
Okay. So he's at 11? So now we're ordering these?
No, I'm not ordering. I'm just saying 11.
Okay.
Russell Wilson.
I need to hold your do you have Derek Carr over Russell Wilson?
Tom Brady. I don't know how I forgot that one. Tom Brady.
Go.
I know I'm forgetting some other people. Lamar Jackson. I think I said that. I already said Lamar.
You say Lamar.
I don't think she did.
Okay, Lamar Jackson for sure been there.
Dak.
No.
I didn't think about those Dak.
Honestly, Dak is probably top 15.
Nah, he ain't making.
Get an
I got
ops of love. Get an ops of love.
He's not that great though.
Oh, I don't think he's that great.
I can't think of the other two right now. Let me see.
This is hilarious. This is funny.
Anyway,
Kyler,
that's 14. Kyler's 14.
Who else did he not mention?
Kirk.
Kyler's 14.
Kirk.
And then you probably can give it to Kirko.
Okay, Kirk Cousins. Okay. So that's just top 15. There you go. That is your answer, Joe. Blake Martinez to Washington. Tim.
What? Blake Martinez to Washington is I just dumbfounded how that's not happened already. Like, how in the world do you sign David Mayo and John Bostic when Blake Martinez is like it's like. We're gonna get into that more later, but God, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. We'll get to it though. Yo, Protech. All right, what it is, will you be at, who you be with, and you know this. What's up, Grandfather? How you doing, bro? And I'm with the goats. You know what I'm saying? We in the cribbo talking some football, basketball, and you know what time it is, man. You know, and I be outside. If you wonder, there you go. That's a quick answer. All right. Did you like the 10 players added to the all-time Redskins list? My dude, Daryl Green. I love the entire 90-player list. It was definitely correct. They actually got something right for once. So we'll try to keep that answer brief. Okay, so Marcus May get arrested, and then they trade Gardner Johnson away. Who will be the Commanders' 2022 Offensive Player of the Year? Terry McLaurin, Carson Wentz, John Dotson, Logan Thomas, or Curtis Samuel? We can answer all this. I think my guy will probably be Wentz, just because he's going to orchestrate the offense. He's going to get everybody the ball, and he's going to do well this year. I think
it's got to be Wentz, okay? I
love
Terry.
It's his revenge tour.
You know, I mean, if Terry, God bless, if Terry can go ahead and go get the 1,500-yard season and 12-plus touchdowns, he's the Offensive Player of the Year. But if we want to be successful, we got to hope for Carson Wentz to get that deal, because he's got tons of weapons around him. He's got to use them all and find ways to win football games by spreading the football around. It's got to be wins.
Get the ball to 17, and the season will be a success. That's the goal.
He's got so many
other weapons. He can't get the
ball
all the time. Dang, bro.
Success is spreading. They got the ball to Cooper Kupp, then everybody else ate. Get the freaking ball to 17, then everybody get it where they fit it.
Matt Stafford does force feed his dude,
which is why how everybody else ate. So get Terry the freaking ball, then everybody else can eat. Because like I said before the season, nobody's gonna disrespect Curtis or Jahan until they actually do something and make them respect.
Cooper Kupp's a different receiver though. Like there's a reason he got so many targets. I feel like because he's more of like a possession.
Because Sean McVay actually uses him. That's the difference.
He gets used in so many different ways. Terry's not quite the same receiver.
Yeah, he's better.
He's different. I don't know about better. Just he's different.
They had different skill sets. Let's just move on. All right, final question before we get back into the actual schedule program.
Okay.
Who be the Commanders' Defensive Player of the Year? John Allen, Deron Payne, Montez Sweat.
Cam, next question.
And we don't put that other name in. We're going to skip this one. Sorry.
JB, baby. JB.
No, sir.
JB 53 is the man.
Stop that. No.
I didn't say his name. I said JB 53.
Mine personally would be Montez Sweat. Montez about to explode.
Jonathan Allen, baby.
Destroy everyone.
Cam, the third year in a row.
Jonathan Allen. He's going to do his thing.
I would love to be Cam right now. We'll talk about Cam in a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Great questions. Thanks, everybody.
Great questions.
Skin them alive. Go for you, man. You're making some cash. Love it.
Making some cash. Get into the bag early. Get into the bag. Get into the bag. Get into the bag. So we're going to get back to the show at hand.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing we'll talk about. All right, let's get to the Washington stuff. That's the stuff that everyone wanted to talk about. We didn't talk about this on Monday because we didn't have a show. We're going to apologize about that real quick before we get back into the show. Apologize for that. We all life happens, guys. So do apologize about that. But hopefully we will not miss another episode again. But in advance, we do apologize about that. So you guys already know what happened Sunday afternoon at 6 p.m. Unfortunately, Commanders rookie running back and new RB1, Brian Robinson, was shot in the leg and the glute at 10th and 8th Street Northeast, right by Ben Chili Bowl, unfortunately. And we're going to give our thoughts on the situation and the bull jive and the foolishness. We're going to start with Tim.
Yes, so it was definitely a scary moment there Sunday night. It definitely, of course, just like every Washington fan, I'm sure, went back to Sean Taylor. Like, where were you when you heard about the Sean Taylor news? And Sean Taylor was stable the night that we all went to bed. He was in quote-unquote stable condition. It was critical, but stable for Mr. Sean Taylor. And then, of course, we know what happened the next day. So I was not comfortable with the Brian Robinson news until the next day. And then we got more clarity on it. And I'm very happy he obviously came out healthy and alive on that one. And then obviously it's even a bigger bonus where he seems as though he has a chance to come back this season, which is unbelievable. Right now, of course, he went to the IR so he'll at least be out, or NFI, right? Non-football injury list for obvious reasons, right? But
yeah,
it was just it's scary because I mean I've had jobs at Union Station where I'm up there at the early hours of the morning when it's dark outside, and I think this even happened in the daylight. So I'm in DC all the time, and just one wrong move or one wrong situation, wrong time, wrong place, right? Or whatever, right time, wrong place, I guess, if you want to say it for the criminals. But hopefully they haven't caught them yet, though, right? The criminals?
They haven't caught them yet, but they have identified them.
Yeah, that's so sad because those guys apparently could be as young as 15 years old.
One was 15 years old.
Which is just, that sucks that he's getting roped in to that kind of situation because 15, you're obviously not making the best decisions. And, that's horrible. So, but no, glad that Brian Robinson is back in the building. Seems surgery went well. And hopefully we don't have that ever happen again. Knock on wood. 2's enough for a franchise for players being shot for horrible reasons.
Jeris, you give your thoughts. I'll give my thoughts real quick afterwards, too.
Look, he's healthy. He's okay. I'll leave that there.
Okay. And I'll give my thoughts. It's just sad, bro. It's sad for all parties involved, even for the kids who did it. There's a generational curse out here. Some of these kids, man, are raised by kids, and it just keeps going to a cycle of violence because their parents were raised upon violence, so they raised to be violent their darn selves, and it just causes more and more problems. It's sad to see. I gotta give the organization the culpability too, because y'all know this city crazy. You know the nation's capital is crazy, bro. You should have warned this man, bro. don't go down 8th Street. I don't care what time of the day it is. You had no security. Don't go down there. That's like telling somebody the hood down the street. Come on, like, bro. Organization got some culpability for it. It's just stupid. I've already said my piece in my video. I don't want to talk about it no more. It's just sad. I'm glad he's okay, and I'm sad
That's
for
why I don't.
for the kids
Me
involved.
personally, I don't go to DC. I go to DC to work. Aside of that, I don't go there to hang out. That's just not where I go for that primary reason. So what I would say to the people that's watching, when you go places, identify where you're going and be aware of where you are
Facts.
when you go there. And don't just let anyone, tell you, hey, let's go here. And even if it's like, you be like, you don't want to go there because you're not comfortable there. If they clown you for it, screw them. Better, I'd rather get clowned than pay for it later. So just watch your surroundings, like I said, and be careful where you go. If you're gonna go somewhere, pick an area where you know that you're comfortable with. That's a good area.
Yeah, facts. And if somebody lives in the city myself, just be mindful where you go, man. If you're going somewhere, know somebody. Go somewhere with somebody. Don't be going nowhere alone. You know who got what, who does what type of time they on.
You don't know
That
who
is an
they-
interesting part of the story. Was he actually just fully alone?
I believe he was.
What
He
is
was
he
very
doing
balanced.
in DC fully? Now that I think about it, like
I
Well,
guess
that's
he
why
was.
he doesn't
the practice
know.
facility.
Bro, I don't know, bro.
The practice facility is way out in Ashburn. That is not
He
close
might
to
live. He
DC.
might live in Arlington too, because not everybody lives in Ashburn that plays for the team. I know some
So
people live in
you
Arlington.
travel
Some people live
like
in
from
Maryland.
Arlington to Ashburn. That's like an hour
Some
commute.
people do that, bro. Some people do that. I don't know. Don't ask me questions. I
At
don't
least
know.
you're going the correct direction, I guess. If you're going away from the city, it's better. And then you
You
go
might got a
into the
freeway
city.
though.
But because I mean that's maybe it's not quite an hour. Maybe I'm exaggerating it a bit.
Probably like
but
35, 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
It's
maybe.
still a long ways to go.
Because
and
it's Ashburn is about 50 minutes from my house, and I live on the other side of DC. So
is
it's probably
Brian Robinson living in
35.
Arlington? Is that true?
I'm just saying he
Or are you
might
just
live in
guessing?
Arlington. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm just saying like some players live in Arlington. Some players live in the city. I've met athletes who live in the city. So
Yeah.
it just all depends what their preference is. But yeah, man. Hey, don't go on 8th Street, bro, unless you know somebody. Please. The hood down the street, just don't do it.
Crazy.
For
Crazy,
goodness
crazy,
sake,
crazy.
just don't. All right, don't be out going to clubs over there and all that. Unless you know somebody, just stay away. Hey, let's get to the next topic, because yeah. All right, so Brian Robinson was put on the NFI list, non-football injury list, for obvious reason, like Tim stated. When you guys think he'll come back, if at all this season, because that's a possibility.
Ooh.
And how will he contribute to this team this year? We'll go ahead and start with Jeris.
Cool.
Brian Robinson.
When will he come out? He be back when he get back. Okay. He's not getting that job back. Okay, that's to make that abundantly clear. He's not touching that job now. When he gets back, though, what it does is it gives you another element that teams can't game plan for immediately right away. They can't figure him out right away because you don't really got that much tape on him. So that's to necessary. That's to our advantage. Now Scott Turner kind of like schemes other stuff, implement more stuff in the play with when he comes on, and he can kind of hide some stuff and wait till later on with Brian Robinson. So some of the stuff they wanted to do, they can kind of put in a bag and hold it until he comes back. So I think that's perfect for Brian Robinson because it's kind of the element of surprise. To me, that helps out his success, and he gets to recover. And he's not gonna have that much wear and tear on him, so he's gonna be even fresh. So late in the season, when guys are banged up, Brian Robinson pretty much you getting 4 weeks, or whatever the case. He coming up in there, he fresh pretty much. And we come late in the season, so that's kind of like a benefit. Let's say Gibby is nicked up, he missed a game or two, he come right in there, we still off and running. So that's how I look at it.
Go quick thoughts, Tim, and we'll get to the other running back in the room too.
To when he comes back.
Yeah, like, when do you think he would come back?
No earlier than halfway through the season. I think. Week 8, week 9 at best. Like, I'm thinking about it, and I think that's probably the earliest, but I don't know at the same time, though, because it's kind of it's a weird situation, because clearly the bullets didn't hit too much, which is good.
Yeah,
because he was already out of the hospital within 2 days, and basically, I mean, he had crutches, but still walking, putting some pressure on that leg. So it's possible he's back by week 5. Possible. I just don't think the likelihood is very high. I would say week 8.
Yeah, we got rushed.
I will honestly say.
Well, if nobody's running between the tackles, we may need to rush a
We're
little.
fine.
We'll see.
We'll get to the other back in the room in a second.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, honestly, I would just stash him for next year. I'll leave it alone because it's more than a physical thing to me. It's also the mental aspect of things. That's something that you really mentally gotta have a hurdle over, and I think that takes a while. I've never got shot, but I got a gun put in my face before, and I was traumatized for a while. It's traumatizing you mentally. Like, it really mess with you mentally. It does. So I would definitely. I'll just let him.
Yeah, but what about like the mindset of
and just leave him be
after that happens?
Yeah, maybe
you want to get back to work.
Too.
You know, like well, you want to get back to work as far as the mental goes.
Yeah.
Like I feel like sitting at home just thinking about it, not getting back to work is going to be worse mentally. Like and your teammates
possible.
are out there.
I'm not saying he can't practice
job.
or nothing. I'm not saying he can't practice. But
if he's healthy, he needs to get back on the field,
yeah,
and I think that would be good for him. All reports are like Terry was talking about him, and he is apparently like a sponge. He loves football. He's asking all the right questions. They sit next to each other in meeting rooms. They became close, like in the offensive meeting rooms, and he's trying to pick Terry's brain as much as he can. And Terry had nothing but great things to say about B-Rob. I think the football field is where this kid needs to get back to for his mental state, and because that's what he loves the most, clearly. And I think that's where he needs to get back to. But I think it'll be week 8 is when he'll come back.
Yeah. And maybe that might be the case, but I'm just saying how traumatizing it is for someone. I'm just saying from experience to a certain extent. We'll see what happens. I wish him none but a spiritual.
I don't discount the trauma. I just think getting back to work
would help the trauma.
Would be better.
I can't disagree with that. I get what you're saying. So we're going to get to the other running back in the room. Now RB1 again, Antonio Gibson. So Jeris, don't do that. Don't do that, Jeris. So scale 1 to 10, how much confidence you have in Antonio Gibson's ability? Number 1. And do you think he's going to hold on to the job as a number 1 running back? Timmy Turner, please start us off with the topic. Please.
No, I want Jeris to start this one. Go ahead.
Jeris, add the floor.
10. That job ain't going nowhere. He's going for 100 rushing yards in game 1. Silencing all of the haters. Gibby gonna go crazy now. He knows this is his last chance. He gonna go stupid with it. Gibby gonna go crazy. I'm a 10.
I'm somewhere between 6 and 7, so I'll go 6.5 on Mr. Gibby. Not because of his talent. His talent, as far as a athlete, is awesome. It's top notch, honestly. With a 6'1", 6'2", 220 pounds, runs sub 4.4. Like the talent is there. The problem is he's not a running back. That's the problem. And if you cannot run between the tackles, you cannot have a starting job in the NFL for too long. And if he can't learn to do that, if we have to bring in Jonathan Williams to run it on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 because Antonio Gibson is incapable, the job is Brian Robinson's when he comes back, no ifs, ands, or buts. It'll be back to B-Rob as running back 1 if Gibby does not learn to do that. So that is the situation, which I'm only saying is a 6.5 because he has the ability to do it, but for some reason he's not, and whatever it is mentally, he's got to learn it. He's got to figure it out, but he will not have a starting job when Brian Robinson comes back if he cannot run between the tackles. It's got to happen.
Interesting. I actually agree with Jeris. I actually agree with him.
And you're wrong too.
Only if he produces. That's the caveat. He must produce. And like Tim said, I get what you're saying. On 3rd and 1, he got to convert those. I'm tired of the GoPro.
You're 6'2", 220. You got to convert.
Exactly. I get what Tim's saying on that one. Like, bro, it's 3rd and 1, bro. Like, you cannot be not being short first down on 3rd and 1. That's getting on my dark nerves too. I can't disagree with that. 2nd and 2, you need to convert those. 3rd and 2, you need to convert those. You need to convert those. Like, you just need to convert those. Like, that's a huge problem.
Say it
we
again.
should not be seeing Jonathan Williams in the game. And back in 2020, we should not have been seeing Peyton Barber in the game on 3rd and 2 or 4th and 1. It's just no. And in 21, we did not need to see. We saw J.D. McKissick sometime on these short yardage situations. Mm-hmm. No. It needs to be Antonio Gibson. Get it done, Gibby. Get it done. I believe you can get it done, though. But you have to get it done. I'm getting tired of it. So we got an undisclosed injury over here in Washington with a star safety of ours. Mr. Cameron Crowe is in the sling. What is up with this? What's up with this foolishness going on in Washington? So he's in the sling. Ron Rivera ain't talking about it. Hush, hush. Is it something we need to worry about, or is it a big concern? We will start with Tim.
I gotta say right now it's a concern because, like, why would you wear a sling, right? Like, do they just normally put people in slings that have a small injury? Like, it's extremely odd to me why he would be on the sideline practice field with a sling on. And obviously he didn't play the final preseason game. I don't know when's the last time he practiced. I like, it's also weird, like, all of a sudden that's there. So I guess it had to have happened in practice at some point. And like, even if your arm was just tender, do you really need a sling while you're going around? I guess maybe.
If it's an AC joint sprain, he's going to need a sling.
I don't know. It's concerning to me for sure. Because also now, are you going to favor it while you're tackling somebody because your shoulder's hurting? I mean, you're supposed to go in with your shoulder. Are you going to be afraid to lead with your shoulder now at this point? And I don't know. I'm definitely concerned, but I am optimistic at the same time. I think he'll play week 1, but I just don't know why in the world you would just be walking around with a sling if there's nothing wrong at that point. And hopefully he's okay.
Jeris?
Well, Bobby McCain, I don't like him very much, as we all know. He says Cam should be back in a couple of days. So he says, so technically that's pretty much the only update that we really got was from Bobby McCain, because Ron Rivera doesn't want to say crap. So I guess we have to take Bobby McCain's word for it. Look, I think he'll play week 1 too, because he got a hold with. I think he'll play week 1 too. I'm gonna say it's not a concern, because I think he's gonna play week 1. So I'll say it's not a concern, because I think he'll play week 1.
I think it's an AC joint sprain. That's what I think. I think he sprained the shoulder. It's nothing crazy.
But why? Ron Rivera's an idiot. I always say this, and I was talking to Tim about this. Stop playing your freaking stars in practice. Give them breaks. You know a season is coming up. You know that. We don't need injuries. How the heck did he hurt his shoulder? What are you doing in practice? Contact-wise, you're an idiot. You did all that contact in training camp. Enough's enough. The season's coming around. Stop being stupid. That's the problem. Last thing we need is him hurt, because if he's hurt, don't even play defense. Just send out the special teams. It's literally no point.
Just send out the kickoff unit?
Exactly. Spot him. Because it's just no hope. That just be embarrassing.
Spot him. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get to the last set of topics on the evening.
That's funny.
Roster moves were made, and we're going to get to all of these into one good old umbrella. We're going to try to wrap up the show with this one, so let's go ahead and do this. So, John Bostic's back. John Bostic's back. What? Okay. John Bostic's back. We also did sign Rashad Winegoose and Tariq Castro Fields, and we did put our homie Curtis Hodges on the IR. So we'll start with Jeris on his thoughts on these moves and what the heck is going on in Washington.
Stupid. Dumb. I don't get it. Like,
oh my god.
Like, come on, bro. Like, and you know what? I'm glad this topic is here because I'm gonna take some time with this one. I heard Juan, okay. I heard Lou. Matter of fact, that's not his name. I heard Lois. He'll be a good backup. 10. No, he won't. No, he won't. He doesn't. The 10 to 15 snaps isn't good. That's not good because when he's out on the field, they're targeting him. That's the point. Those 15 to 20 snap are all conversions going towards John Bostic. So no, he's not a good backup. It's not great at all. It's stupid. And we all know he's going to be on the field the majority of the time. We know this. We're not dumb. We're not going to sit here and play games. He's going to be on the field a ton. Okay? And it's over. It's over. The defense is done. It's done. It's open for business in Washington. But the middle of the field, the linebacker, it's over. Okay? Then you bring in David Mayo. So imagine David Mayo and John Bostic spelling for Cole and Jamin. It's over. And then you have Derek Forrest and Bobby McCain standing back there. It's stupid, okay? You had so many opportunities. You could have traded for Roquan Smith, okay? You knew you needed a linebacker. You know linebacker. Why didn't you draft one that you know you needed one? This goes to show you that you needed one because you just signed 2. So you knew you needed it, but you didn't go draft one. Leo Chenal falls past you. Jacoby Dean falls past you. Troy Anderson, Cham, all these guys, David Lloyd fell. And we stuck with Bostic and David Mayo. And you knew you needed a linebacker. Problem. It's over.
It's disgusting. This is like seriously moves that get you fired. Okay? Like there is zero reason for this guy to be on your football team. Zero. Unless you're hiring him as a coach, because apparently he can line everybody up correctly. So good for him there. But he is not. 10 guys are doing their job, and number 53 is not. Okay? I guess he's thinking too much for everybody else. This guy is a donkey to be on this team. And Ron Rivera, I guess he sees a thoroughbred and a donkey out here, okay? And he wants his horse for the Triple Crown out here to be number 53. It's stupid. Blake Martinez just got released. This happened apparently 2 hours ago. And the fact that it hasn't been already announced that John Bostic has been released by the Commanders and Blake Martinez is signed already within the first 2 hours, it's horrible. Okay.
For the first 2 hours.
And there's also another guy that's kind of interesting. Right now, Anthony Harris is on the Eagles practice squad. Why not go bring him in?
I take a look at Anthony
as a
Harris.
potential safety out there, instead of maybe even a
Bubba
Jeremy
Bolden
Reeves.
sitting there. Nobody
Bubba
signed
Bolden
him.
is sitting there. Yep, that's a good one too. I don't know. It's
Dr. Hightower.
there's all those guys were already sitting out there, so clearly they don't want them because they signed John Bostic over Hightower or Reggie Ragland or like list out. There's 20 linebackers on that list better
What's
than John
going
Bostic.
to happen is what they're going to say is, well, we want people that know the system.
Shut your
He can
mouth.
go play tomorrow. Oh, shut up.
It's
This
horrible.
goofy. I don't want to talk about this no more. Okay,
You
yeah.
needed a linebacker.
I'm gonna go blow
and
at
let
Vernon.
Kobe Dean fall past.
You drafted Fedarian Mathis. We have zero need for a defensive lineman. Zero. Daniel Wise's looked good. Obata's looked fine. Like we have, of course, outside dudes. We did not need a Fedarian Mathis in the second round. That was moronic. All of those linebackers sitting out there. And I also think there was a Jaquan Brisker, even if you wanted a safety instead. Like, what are you doing drafting him? And then you draft a running back. Of course, he looked good, but Leo Chenal is sitting right there. Running backs are a dime a dozen. You could have gone and got anybody out here in free agency.
You could have got you a linebacker and a safety.
You could have gone Jaquan Brisker than Leo Chenal. Instead, we go for Darian Mathis and Brian Robinson. This is literally what we have right now.
In the 4th round, honestly.
I think so.
I don't care when we could have got him. We could have gone and got Hassan Haskins. You could have got Ty Chandler. You could have gone several other running backs. Brian Robinson was not a must. Even though I like Brian Robinson, that's fine. But a 3rd rounder does not need to be a in-between-the-tackles running back. You could go get somebody else. It's ridiculous what we're looking at right now. And it's just, this is why I was literally, it's I've never actually been depressed. This was the closest I was ever to depress. Literally, it ruined my time at a wedding. I'm just sitting there just contemplating, so mad at the first 3 rounds of our draft. And it's coming to light for why. It's literally coming to light. And it's just, we only keep 3 linebackers off the initial 53. That's it. Because you cut freaking Dejon Harris and David Mayo. Now you brought him back, okay, but you only kept 3 linebackers fine. No, we're good. We like our young guys. We're doing good. We're doing fine. Freaking Martin Mayhew.
Y'all don't listen.
Oh my.
Everybody was loving this draft. Oh, you a hater. You know what I mean? We took
I don't hate the Jahan Dotson pick. I don't like the Fedarian Mathis pick. Period. I still don't like it.
Listen, I don't care.
I don't care if you saying, and next year we're going to let Deron walk and all that. I don't care.
They want to settle
back in 2018 in the 5th round. I don't want to hear that. You can go ahead and draft a defensive lineman in the 6th or 7th round, and that's your depth, okay?
You don't even need him. You already have him on the roster. You have Daniel Wise. You have F.A. Obata. You have David Obata. You have the backups. You have nothing at linebacker. Nothing.
If they were to sign Deron Payne, what was your purpose of drafting for Darian Mathis in the 2nd round?
It's ridiculous. Yeah, now you're talking up to freaking Deron Payne now. You're right. Absolutely. It's crazy.
The Deron thing, you drafted him in the 2nd round as my replacement. Why do I need to play?
But you drafted for Darian Mathis to be Deron Payne.
Hey, but that's what they're trying to do. Obviously, they took.
That's not a need because you still have.
You already have 4 first rounders on the defensive line. You don't need another second.
Even if you lose Deron, you still have Chase, John, and Ted.
Yeah,
you can plug in anything else there. 100%. Really. Linebacker, you need it. Jahan Dotson was a stupid pick.
You replaced a 4th round, you replaced 2 5th-round picks with a 2nd. Matt Ioannidis and Tim Settle were 5th-round picks.
And he'll never beat them.
And we drafted all of a sudden we lose 2 5th-rounders and we have to go get a 2nd-round pick now. It's a must. Louis T says it's a need. It's a need on this team.
We need that.
What are you talking about?
You need that, but you can get it in the 6th, 7th round of the draft. You didn't need to spend a 2nd-round pick on it.
Replace 2 5ths with a freaking has to happen.
Not trading the wrong thing. You do not waste a 2nd-round pick on the defensive lineman, period. I don't hate the Jahan pick. I don't hate it. I'm sorry. I don't hate it.
I do.
I don't hate it. Okay. I don't like the 2nd rounder. I don't like the 2nd rounder. I don't dislike the Brian Robinson pick. I think it was a reach.
This draft could have went so much better, bro. Jordan Pickens in the 2nd round. You could have got Nakobe Dean in the 3rd round. 1st round, you could have had your pick of the litter.
He was gone by the time we picked in the 3rd round. Nakobe
Dean. Leo Chenal.
Leo Chenal was there.
He was gone 3rd round. I'm just saying what happened. He was gone before we got to pick Nakobe Dean.
Then Leo Chenal.
I'll be fine with that. I'm just saying.
Then we could have went free safety in the 1st or something.
Dead serious, what we should have done, George Pickens in the 1st, Jaquan Brisker in the 2nd, and freaking Leo Chenal in the 3rd. Don't talk to me there. George Pickens is the best receiver in this entire draft. And he's proving it already in preseason. He is the most complete wide receiver. He can do it all.
I would not be mad at that pick because we wanted to trade back. So we could have traded back. We could have traded back twice to Green Bay and picked the guy Pickens, and then added more. And you could have got then you could have got your D tackle later on. They stupid. They just don't know how to work. They don't know how to work.
Jeez.
They still work the Saints because all the Saints got was Chris Olave, and you still got Howell and Turner out of it. So
Merrill says it sounds like you guys lost faith in Ron. All I'm saying is, like, what's frustrating as a fan is I am a fan, and I can see what they're doing is stupid. That is not a good sign. If I'm some donkey with a YouTube channel of 3,000 subscribers, and I'm looking at you like you're a moron and correct, I don't know what else to do here but lose a little faith at least. I mean, you're going to, if you're here as Ron Rivera as a coach, you're at least getting knocked down a couple notches. You signed John Bostic.
And you knew you needed
I can't put all of it on Ron. Per se.
Why can't you?
Just let me finish.
It's literally all.
I'm asking. I'm letting you finish.
Let me finish. All I'm saying that because, I guess you got to put all on Ron. He did.
He hired Martin Mayhew.
Yeah, Mayhew.
Ron's in charge. You see the video. Mayhew wanted Kenyon Green. Ron said no. We're going Dodson. So Ron makes the choices clearly.
He wanted Kenyon Green.
He didn't want to pick it.
He wanted a guard.
I would have took it. Honestly, I would have took it.
Kenyon Green would have improved the offensive line. He better.
Don't draft a guard.
I would have been cool with Kenyon Green and then
Brandon Sheriff is the proof that you don't draft a guard. You didn't even want to pay him.
I'd have drafted Kenyon Green.
He wanted $18 million. I want to pay him $18 million either. So,
well, you want your first round pick to be a freaking top notch All Pro, right? If you get an All Pro out of your top 5 pick, you pay him. And you don't even want to pay him because it's a terrible position. So if you don't want to pay the position, you don't draft the position.
Look,
facts. I give you the time.
What makes this draft trash because it's one of the deepest drafts in NFL history, and you could not go wrong with any player that you picked. It was that deep, and we literally went wrong.
We found a way.
That's the sad part. You have the Kobe Dean
saving this draft,
just falling. Leo Chenal just falling. George Pickens just falling. Like, you got players falling all over.
I would have doubled down on receiver. You wanted Jahan that bad. All right, take Jahan, but get Pickens right afterwards. If you got Jahan,
sign me up over Fedarian Mathis. Sign me up.
Just cut Curtis Samuel. I wouldn't give a hell. If you're gonna do all that, if you want Jahan that bad, okay, draft Jahan. But go draft George Pickens right behind him. For goodness sake.
If we had George Pickens instead of Jahan Dotson right now.
So we had both. I took both.
That would have been cheating.
That would have been. It would have been so good.
Terry and George Pickens.
What does the super chat say?
Let's say Isaiah Wilson's comment real quick. The reason this team thinks it's better than what it is COVID blew up the playoff chances last year. They didn't upgrade the defense. Actually, downgraded the defense. To be honest.
Say that again. So the problem is that this team
thinks it's better than it was because COVID blew up the playoff chances last year. They did not upgrade the defense at all.
They didn't.
They downgraded.
Did we add a single piece?
No.
Who did we add?
We lost more pieces than we added. We lost Tim Settle.
Did we add anybody?
Very Mathis. That's what we had.
Mathis.
A rotational defensive lineman. Okay.
And then you add Christian Holmes, which barely made the roster. He was getting cooked.
Oh, speaking of Christian Holmes, he was
getting deep fried. With extra
he was a scheme fit for Jack Del Rio because he loves zone corners that play off the ball so much. Yeah, I watched Castro that Street Scorers is talking up and hyping up. Everybody's hyping up.
Corner.
He plays zone, and he was doing the Jack Del Rio special, and in his highlight, these are the highlights, and he's playing 10 yards off the ball during his highlight tapes. He's just coming up and making tackle. He's letting receivers catch the football and coming up and make the tackle after an 8-yard gain. Great signing there, boys. Great signing. We needed that, didn't we?
That's the problem. We didn't address no real needs in the draft. We needed a cornerback too. We ain't drafting one really.
Corner, Kobe Bryant. We could have had Kobe.
You could have
had Trent McDuffie, George Pickens, Leo Chenal, freaking Kobe Bryant.
We could have had everything.
That's a draft we could have had. A corner who's looking great apparently in Kansas City. We could have had Leo Chenal, our linebacker. We could have had our receiver, George Pickens, with size and speed, toughness. And we could have had freaking Kobe Bryant as another corner. Or we already went corner. So you could have Bubba Bolden or something. Or Like, there's so many different. Or you could, in the 4th round, go ahead and take your boy Sam Howell. Or you could have had Hassan Haskins if you wanted a running back so bad. 4th round is much better than the 3rd.
I think Brian Robinson would have been there in the 4th round. He was there at the 98th pick. That's basically the beginning of the 4th round. It was a compensatory 3rd round pick. You could have waited. You could have just took Leo Chenal and went with your daggone life. You got Brian Robinson in the 4th round. I think Chris Paul would have been in the 6th round or 7th round, whatever. I don't care. Never should have drafted Sip.
We should have traded back. We had another trade into the 20s.
Let's get us to the point. Back. You draft Howard and turn in the 5th round. I'm completely fine with that.
Trade back, then you go Devin Lloyd. Get your linebacker, George Pickens in the 2nd. Now you have other. Apparently, we could have got pick 53. I just watched the inside the draft room. Green Bay was offering pick 53 and 23 or whatever for pick 16. We could have had a second round. We could have gone Jaquan Brisker, and we could have gone George Pickens, and we could have got Leo Chenal or whatever in the 3rd.
You actually could have went. You could have went McDuffie.
I would have revamped the whole.
You could have went McDuffie, Dean, and then Pickens. McDuffie, D, and Pickens.
We're beating a horse.
I would have got rid of Kurt Samuel, and I'd have got 2 receiving.
It's frustrating.
I got 2 receiving, got rid of Kurt Samuel. Kurt Samuel got a high cap number. Get your high cap number and your Curtis Samuel, your sideline self out of here. Get your sideline self out the door. 2 the receivers. Come on in.
You probably could have flipped him for a free safety.
No one traded for that boy. No one want to trade for that boy. I could have been fine with that. I just gave him the boot. Ooh, let's take this last comment.
Read that comment. That's a great one.
Mark Mayhew is 54 and 90 was a GM. And Marty Herney is 102 and 30. 130. You have losers running the organization.
We literally hired the GM that went 0-16 for the Lions.
Yeah,
we did that.
I'm at the point, bro, where
we have the guy that drafted Eric Ebron.
If this team don't win 10 games, just fire everybody, bro. Just fire everybody, bro. Fire everybody. Just fire everybody not named John Masco.
And who's the other tight end he drafted? He drafted 2 tight ends in the 1st round in his time in Detroit. Martin Mayhew.
It was the 1st round.
Brandon Pettigrew.
There it is.
Brandon Pettigrew. Excuse my French, his bum. Bum.
You ain't wrong. Brandon Pettigrew was trash.
Bum. Now, Chris Paul was out. That was actually a decent pick.
It's a 7th rounder.
Chris Paul, Sam Howell, Cole Turner. I actually like Jahan Dotson, but it's just too early.
I said day 3 was fine.
Too early.
I said day 3 was fine. Day 3
was lit. Day 3 was lit. Day 3 was lit. Day 1 just too early.
Day 1 and 2
abysmal.
And those are the money rounds, okay? Those are the money rounds.
Well, Burnley, we hit on 3rd round picks, but I don't know. I'm just looking for a new GM, and you keep Jason right. Just give me a new GM, and at this point, if Ron don't win 10 games, just give him the axe, bro. Find a new head coach. I want a young offensive mind anyway. I don't care about Scott Turner. Upgrade from him. Find a better offensive mind, and that's how I feel about it.
I want Chris Cooley as my drafter, talent evaluator.
I want Kyle Smith back.
Oh yeah, Kyle Smith the GM.
He's not leaving Atlanta, bro. Umar just my
Is Kyle Smith the GM though?
He's making Atlanta.
I think he is the GM.
Is he actually labeled the GM in Atlanta?
I think he is. I don't know.
If he's not, hire him at the GM. Cooley, the head of the player personnel draft guy. Have them work together, and then a coach. I don't know. We could go with a lot of interesting characters out there.
Go get the funnest young offensive mind out there. Let's go get the youngest fun offensive mind.
Yeah, I don't know who that would be.
And get the best out of Sam Howell. Because if we don't win 10 games, Carson's not going to be here. That's a wrap, man.
I ain't even going to speak
to Carson. Off the books.
Carson, my dog.
Oh, I love Carson, but they don't win 10 games. He's gone, bro.
Man, Carson win MVP, man. I'm standing by that.
When MVP means Ron gonna be here. That's enough. This show been going way too long.
I don't mind Ron as a head coach, but he should just be a head coach. Let the coordinators do the plays. He doesn't need to do nothing. Just sit there and be a leader. Outside of that, I don't want you doing nothing else.
Nah, you can give me Byron Leftwich. Here we go.
I ain't going Leftwich.
Oh, absolutely not.
Hey, that Buck offense lit, and it wasn't just because of Brady.
I disagree.
Yeah, a lot of talent around him in Tampa too, but
You think? Just a little.
oh, he's the vice president of per personnel.
Perfect. GM, hire him tomorrow. The fact that Ron let him walk out the door.
Matter of fact,
hired Martin Mayhew.
Let him do everything. Let him do everything. Don't.
If you want to see a funny rant, go to my channel and look me talking about Martin Mayhew. Yeah, I went through his draft, the great drafter that Martin Mayhew is. Go find my video on that.
The coordinators are bad, but guess who hired them? Ron. Yeah. So if they don't win 10 games, everyone needs to go. And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear, oh, but this happened. You traded for a above average starting quarterback in Carson Wentz. You drafted Jahan Dotson, Timo Pateri. You got your boy Curtis back. You got all these other dudes back. Logan's going to be back for week 1. All this other crap. Go win 10 games. I don't want to hear you play Jacksonville, Detroit to start the season. After that, you play the Giants twice. I don't think the Giants are any freaking good. Go win 10 games. If you can't do it, everyone must go much faster if it's slow, expeditiously. Get your feet out the door. Get out of here, or we're going to blow y'all up. Get out of here.
Great ending. Go ahead and wrap this thing up there, Protech.
Let's get up out of here, man. Like, comment, subscribe to all 3 of our channels, man. Also, subscribe to the JTP UnCut channel. We're going crazy. Roll the 1K over there. Roll the 4K for Tim. Roll the 2K for Jeris. And roll the 3K for myself. Appreciate y'all for pulling up to the show. Appreciate y'all love and all support on the JTP UnCut YouTube channel and show. We will catch you guys next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't be late. Appreciate. Till next time, y'all be easy, man. We'll catch y'all, man. This light about to kill my eyes. It gotta go.